back to my channel. Today I have MasterBooks Language Lessons for a Living Education to flip through with you. I have a few different levels here. This is what all three of my kiddos are going to be using for their language arts curriculum. And so I have level 1, 3, 4, and 5 to show you. Now the reason why I have all of these different levels is that level 1 is for my youngest, level 3 is for my middle, and then for my oldest, I could not decide at first which one I should get for him. Now on MasterBooks website, when you go to check out a particular curriculum, they do have samples for you to see, as well as a placement test for each curriculum, for each level of the curriculum. And so at first I thought level 4 would work for him, but then when I got it and started looking through it, I decided it may not be the best fit for him. It may be a little too simple. So I went ahead and purchased level 5 and kept level 4 because my daughter, when she finishes level 3, will be moving on to level 4. And so that kind of worked out for us. And so what I'm going to do today is take you through each book. They are laid out exactly the same. So I'll go through kind of the guide for the curriculum first, and then we'll flip through and look at all of the fun insides of each level. So first, what I want to show you is that the book comes bound, but it is 3-hole punch. Now this book is made for you to tear the pages out. They are perforated, so if you want to tear them out and put them in a 3-ring binder, you can, or you can just tear them out as you go. Also, there is no separate teacher's guide to this curriculum, and I'll kind of explain why that is, but everything is in this book. A few last things. This is a Christian company, and so all of their curriculum is based around the Christian belief. So if you're looking for something secular, this curriculum is not going to do it for you. Sometimes you can find curriculum that is Christian based, but it's not kind of heavy in that. But this curriculum requires a Bible storybook to go along with the reading comprehension. So obviously it's kind of hard to get away from that when you are using this curriculum if you're looking for something secular. Now I do want to show you some of the things that you will need. Sorry, I should have pulled all of this stuff out. I just picked the workbooks out. Okay, so I'm going to start with level 1 and show you what we have going on here. So when you open up the book, the first thing you see is the scope and sequence. It has all of the lessons listed, what you will be learning in the lessons, and the page numbers. Next we have a little blurb here on using the course, kind of how to break things down and what the little symbols mean in each lesson, the course objectives. Over here you have the course description, as well as the required course materials. Now some of the levels do require additional materials, and it will show you on the website what you need. For the language 1 level, you can buy all of this in a package kit. So the books that are required in addition to the student book, or you can just purchase things separately if you wish. If maybe you have these books and you just need the workbook, then you can purchase it that way. Then you have a little note from the author about this course, and it kind of talks about what to do on each day of the week. A note about the teaching helps throughout the book, and this is a very important thing to read because, like I said, there is no separate teacher guide, and a lot of people get this and think, I don't know how I'm supposed to teach this. Well, that's because the teaching format and how you're supposed to teach is kind of embedded within the book. So you want to read the teaching helps note here, and then you want to read about each aspect that is listed or covered in each lesson. So you've got stories, poems, scripture, independent reading, oral narration, phonics, spelling, create your own dictionary, for fun, teacher aids, handwriting, assessment. So those reading this and then reading through these will help to guide you on how to teach your student. The next thing we have is a 1 semester suggested daily schedule. So this course has 90 lessons. So you can do it this way. This is one suggested schedule where you do the curriculum each day for the entire week. So this is a 5-day-a-week schedule, and this will run you through 9 weeks. If you want to kind of break things up a little bit more, they also have an alternate 1-year daily schedule, and this you can do each lesson every other day. So this would be 3 days a week, and that will take you all the way to the end of the year. So you will end up with this first semester, you will end up, getting through lesson 9, which is like week 9 basically. And then the second semester, you will end up getting through the entire year, the entire book. So the way that we will plan on using this is more like the 3-day-a-week schedule, and that's because I'm doing kind of an additional program with my youngest along with this, because we're having some issues with letter sounds and recognizing letters and things like that, and so I just want to make sure that we have a good foundation before we move up to any of those levels. And so what I'm going to show you now, before I go through the student materials, I'm going to flip through the back to the teacher's aids. All right, so, sorry, my son was asking a question. So when you get to the back, and there's a pretty thick section here, you have the teacher's aids, and you have the how to use this section and the table of contents where everything is listed. And so when you flip right into it, you have how to hold your pencil, assessments, grading options, you have course checklists back here, recommended book lists for reading practice for all different levels throughout, all the way up to 8th grade. You have a chart here to put your reading list with your child there. We have sight word checklists, phonics review. These, now, I saw on the channel Any Day Blessings, and she made such a good recommendation or tip that I'm totally going to be doing this. But here you have all of these wonderful phonics charts that teach you the different letter sounds, and then once you get through those, you have these grammar study sheets that tell you different rules about grammar. What she suggested, what I'm planning on doing, is to tear these out and then laminate them, so that when we are going through a lesson, if we come upon something that we're not sure, okay, how is that spelled, or how is that pronounced, or how do we finish that sentence, I can pull out one of these grammar study sheets and say, okay, well, a sentence must end at a punctuation mark, and here are our 3 options. And so, and I'll show you in the other levels, as you move up levels, there's more study sheets offered. Obviously, this is just what they will need to know in level 1. Then you have a spelling list here. These are to put the words that the students need to work on. And then in the back, you have the list of all of the spelling words that they will be doing throughout this course. You have a create your own dictionary schedule for their words. And then here they have these pages that you can tear out to use to create your own dictionary, which I think is really cool, and I'm excited to do with them. So this goes all the way through the alphabet. And then back back here is another super awesome teacher aid. These are the activities and games section. So you have all these different options of games to play to help your student learn. So we have days of the week or months of the year memory, Simon Says, alphabet memory, I Spy, charades, drawing games. So I love the idea of using games because all of my kiddos are wiggly butts and they need to get up and move around. So this will definitely help when we're having those days where they just can't sit still. Then you have some alphabet practice back here for some handwriting. You have copy work practice, which is nice. Any Day Blessings, she also recommended to tear these out and put them in a dry erase pocket. Let me see, hold on. I was going to show you what I mean. So, and I believe you might be able to get these at the Dollar Tree too. A friend gave me these, but this is just a clear pocket, so you can put the sheet in there, and then you can have them write this copy work with a dry erase marker, which is a lot more fun than just doing pencil to paper. And then obviously you can do it over and over again so that they remember these, because these are grammar lessons that they're copying. So it's not just, Johnny ran after the bunny, or Johnny ran after the dog, or something like that. It's not just a random sentence. It's they're actually copying grammar rules, which is pretty neat. Now you could also tear it out and laminate it if you want to do it that way. You could still use it for dry erase if you wanted to, but like I said, I think they have these dry erase pockets at the Dollar Tree. So you have that, and then that is the end of the book. And then you've got worksheet answer keys in the back for the student pages. And so, like I said, this is Language Lessons Level 1, and the required materials that you will need for this level are these 3 books. So you have Not Too Small at All, A Mouse Tale by Stephanie Townsend. And this is just a really cute little book here. Very pretty pictures. This is a story about a mouse on Noah's Ark. And you use this all throughout the curriculum. So these are definitely, something you're going to need. I know sometimes things are recommended and you don't necessarily need them, but those you will need. This is called The Doors of Salvation by Ken Ham. And so this is a fun book because it's a lift the flap book, but this book is basically about how we receive salvation. How, everything started out with the fall of man, and then God's promise to Abraham, and, how we are sinful by nature because we're humans, and how we can overcome that, how through Jesus we are given our salvation. And so that's what that story is about. And so that's just a really fun book to, you could use that with any of your children. I really like that. It's just a nice reminder, about where our salvation comes from. And then you have Charlie and Trike in the Grand Canyon Adventure. And this is also kind of like a lift the flap book. Some pages fold out. You got like this cute little map that opens up here. So lots of really cute things to go along with. I love when a curriculum has, supplemental material, so it's not just the same thing every day, not just a worksheet. There are things that, that you can interact with to make the lesson, come more alive and help them to, retain that information. I like that there's a little map in the back here. Super cute. Anyway, those are the recommended materials, or not recommended, sorry, required materials for level 1. So let's get in real quick to the actual curriculum. So when you start out a lesson is basically a week. So there are 5 days for each lesson. But like I said, if you want to change things up and just spread it out over the year instead of just the semester, then you can definitely do that, and that's listed in the teacher helps in the beginning, how to do that. So you have this reading together talks about what you're going to read together. Oral narration practice, they always have these teacher notes if they want you to know something ahead of time. And then you have exercise 1, day 1. So in this one, you are reading the first sentence of the book, not too small at all. Here's another teacher's note. We've got some sight words to review. This is also day 1. And then this is day 1 as well. Exercise 2, day 2. You have some phonics review for new sounds and old sounds that you already know. More phonics review. You have some handwriting practice along with, learning letters. And then you have vowel practice and review. And then this is day 3. This is also day 3. Day 4, beginning sounds for words. And then day 5, working on our dictionary with our words. And that's, where those pages in the back come in. And like I said, you can see all the teacher notes throughout. And so that's why there isn't a separate teacher guide with this curriculum, because you have the teacher helps in the front, the back, and the notes throughout the lessons that help you know what you're going to be focusing on for each lesson. And that's how each week goes. So this would be lesson 2, which is week 2. And this is a picture study. So we look at the picture, we answer these questions, just an oral exercise there. Reading together from the book, the mouse book again, more phonics practice. So you can see kind of how this goes. Sometimes they have a couple pages each day. Sometimes they only have 1 page. And so it just kind of depends. Day 7, day 8, day 9, day 10. So that's day 10 beginning, obviously, with the first week. And then you just keep going in to each lesson every week. And that's kind of how it is laid out. They've got all sorts of activities. So it's not the same thing every day. It's a very gentle approach to language arts. You can see there's not a ton of not a ton of writing, which I like because my youngest, if I'm going to try to be doing something with him where there's a lot of writing involved, I'm just going to get pushed back, and it's just going to be a struggle, and he's going to shut down. So I like that this is a little bit gentler. There's not so much on each day. It's just a little bit, just enough. And then, you're done for the day, and then you'll come back the next day. Another thing about this curriculum, it is not a mastery program. And that means you're not going to take an entire week or 2 weeks and focus on vowels and then move on to something else. This is a spiral program. So you may get, an introduction to vowels during lesson 1, and then you may not see that subject or topic covered again until sometime in lesson 2 or 3. So spiral works best for my kids because I've noticed that mastery, they tend to learn the whatever topic they're covering really well, but then once you've not dealt with it for a few weeks, they start to forget again. So I really enjoy the option of being able to use this or being able to use a spiral program, and that's one of the reasons why we chose this one. So that is level 1. The next level I'm going to flip through is level 3, and I'm not going to necessarily show you, the front of the book is exactly the same as level 1. I am going to show you real quick the teacher helps in the back of level 3. Oh, you know what? I pulled them out. So this was another thing that Any Day Blessings that she recommended, was to pull out the front teacher section and the back teacher section, and then like bind it or put it in a 3-ring binder so you actually have your own guide. And so that's what I did, and so I'm going to show you here the back. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so here you have an independent reading list, recommended books. They also will be creating their own dictionary. Oh, that moved. So their dictionary obviously is a little bit different than level 1, since this is level 3. And so you can copy these if you need more sheets. They also do activities and games. So you have I Spy, days of the week, months of the year. Let's see, Jumping Bean, days of the week. Simon Says, nouns, proper nouns, pronouns, action verb charades, possessive nouns, slapjack, fun with sentences, drawing game, state of being verbs game, lots of games. Don't Make Me Laugh word game, synonym story game, Don't Make Me Laugh simile game, paragraph sandwich game, which I'm excited to try that one out. Then you have the spelling practice back here that talks about different ways to practice your spelling words, so it's not just pencil and paper and kind of boring in the same way each day. Also, let me see if they... Okay. I know on level 5, I'm not sure if they have it for level 3. They should, but on level 5, if you go to the page on MasterBooks where you're going to purchase this information, there will be spelling word boxes, like a link to click on, and it will come up with free worksheets that have the boxes where you fit the spelling words in. And so you can download those and use those as an extra spelling activity if you wish. Here's a spelling word list for words that might need extra practice. Here's all their spelling words for the year, sight word lists, more copy word practice. Once again, you've got grammar rules as the practice instead of just random sentences. So we will be using this with dry erase. I haven't decided yet if I'm probably just going to use the pockets because I have them, and then we'll just alternate these, and then hopefully doing them a couple times will help those spelling, or well, not spelling, but grammar lessons or rules kind of stick a little bit better. You have days of the week practice, months of the year practice, ordinal numbers, let's see, contraction practice, titles practice, calendar study sheet. So these are also, remember I showed you in level 1 the different grammar rules that you can laminate and have handy. This is the section of grammar rules for level 3, and you can tell they have more rules obviously because this is a couple levels ahead of level 1. So I will be laminating these. There's quite a few, but that's okay. We'll laminate those and then be able to use those and pull those out at any point. And then in the back you have the answer key. So that is the teacher section for level 3. Let me get this stuff over here, and then I will show you level 3. So here is level 3. She's already actually started some of this. The required additional material for level 3 is the 101 Favorites stories. This is the same required material for level 4 and 5, so it worked out that I could just buy one and my kids will share it. So okay. So she's already started on lesson 1, but if you look at lesson 2, it's very similar to how lesson 1 is set up. Obviously, just a different level. So there you have a picture study. You've got some sight word practice, nouns, calendar work. Some more calendar work. we've got, this is kind of like a reading comprehension exercise. And then day 5 at every week, the last day of the week is set aside for spelling. Another tip from Anyday Blessings was that she actually will pull out lesson 5 and will use it each day along with whatever they're doing in the curriculum. So for instance, this would be write the spelling words in the correct boxes. So you could do that for day 1 of the week. Then it says write a fun sentence using at least 2 of your spelling words. Okay, so that's something that you could do for day 2 of the week. And you could have them write a couple sentences. Over here you have write your spelling words on note cards. Write 1 word on each card. You may create write brain flashcards with your words. That is another way that you could do, that could be day 3. And then it says just write your spelling words here. You could do it here, or you could do it with dry erase markers or something on a different surface. And then day 5 would be your spelling test and working on your dictionary. So that's how I've planned on doing it, doing a little bit of spelling each day, because it didn't make sense to me just to do one day of spelling, just because I kind of want them to have a little bit of that each day, so they're getting they're being immersed in that each day instead of just working on it one day a week. So that is how all of the lessons are set up. Like I said, the 5th day of each week is always spelling, and so we will just start that on day 1 and do a little bit each day. And so this is what level 3 looks like, and she likes it so far. It's a lot less writing intense than what she was doing. There is some writing, but because she's not doing like multiple pages a day, it doesn't bother her to go ahead and do a little bit of writing each day. You can see all the way to the back, and then down to day 180. So let me show you where. Okay, and so you see this is lesson 36. So this would be week 36. And that is level 3. And I did want to show you real quick, if I can find it quickly through here. This curriculum is a full year curriculum. So level 1, you could do it in 1 semester, but this one is a full year. So you have the suggested schedule, so 5 days a week. You have it for the first semester all the way through week 9, and then once again starting in the second semester, 5 days a week all the way up through the second 9 weeks. Obviously you can alter this however you want. That's just whatever works for your family, but I just wanted to give you kind of a peek at that so that you kind of had an idea of how much is included in level 3, because level 1 obviously there is less there in level 3 or level 1, and that's mainly because we know that with students that are in kindergarten, first grade, you don't want to try to do too much too fast. So moving on to levels 4 and 5. Once again, set up very much the same way. They both require the 101 favorite stories from the Bible book. It goes through all of that, and then you have the first semester suggested daily schedule, and then the second semester suggested daily schedule. So both of these are also a full year's curriculum. So when you get into level 4, this is what the first lesson looks like. They have a little story to read, some narration practice questions, and then you get right into exercise 1, day 1, talking about analogies. Then over here for day 2, talking about nouns. Day 3, sentence work. Here's some more sentence work for day 3. Day 4, this is some reading comprehension. And day 5, this is when they're going to start their spelling. Once again, we will do spelling the same way we do with my middle child. We will do a little bit of spelling each day. Here you have a picture study for lesson 2, or you can call it week 2. Sight words, possessive nouns, sentences, more reading comprehension. So that's kind of how all of that is laid out. It's very, very similar, just a little bit more difficult than level 3. But you can still see there's not a ton of writing. There's a little bit of writing. So that's just kind of nice because it doesn't stress my kids out. So I'm not as stressed out. So, and then you go all the way back to, once you get to the end of the curriculum, then you've got all the teacher's helps again, all of the games, the sight word lists, the copy work practice, you've got state abbreviations, grammar rules, answer key, all that good stuff. So that is lesson 4, or level 4, and then this is level 5. And so we've started already with level 5, so I'll show you. So here we have lesson 2, which is a picture study. Day 1, you've got some descriptive writing. Day 2, you have grammar practice, possessive nouns, plural possessive. Let's see, sentences, subject and predicate, idioms and funny phrases, more reading comprehension, and then spelling practice. And then you have a story, and so that's pretty well how that's set up. And also this curriculum definitely recommends having your child read books on their own free time, and so we do that too. They have to, pick out books to read each week and read quietly, and because there's not a ton of reading in this, which is fine. I would much rather kind of let them pick out what they want to read than kind of maybe force them to read stuff that might not interest them. And so that is what level 5 looks like. Then you go in the back, once again, the My Dictionary, word lists, games, spelling word lists, different spelling rules and exceptions. I love that they put all this in here because sometimes I don't remember why something is spelled the way it is. So definitely very handy. Grammar rules, and then all of your answers. So that is what language lessons for living education look like inside. That's kind of also, I like being able to let you know how the program works with teaching it, not having a teacher guide. And I love, you really should, if you're not subscribed to Any Day Blessings, you should go over to her channel and check it out, because I think it was about a year ago that she posted tips and tricks on using this curriculum, and it was a huge blessing because it was right before I bought this. And so when I got it, I was able to kind of figure things out so much easier than I would have on my own. So that's one of the things I love about YouTube, being able to find helpful videos on how to use different curriculums. So if you have any questions, list them in the comment box below. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I have lots more stuff to show you coming up. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all again next time. Bye.